Hi guys, it's us, the pure shoot god here. Like any hi guys, it's Camera God here. Kinda messed up there, sorry guys. Today we'll be playing, well, my friend will be playing Fortnite while I read Lost Silver. There you go. So, you see, I am a simple college student living alone in an apartment. I was very enthusiastic about the release of Pokemon Heart Gold, Flash, Soul Silver. Here at the site, I have purposely locked myself out of all media and the internet aside from sale purposes. That means no Forsan, no Flash B Flash, no Bulbapedia, etc. As I was busy with the show year and being poor at the time, I wasn't able to buy Soul Silver on its launch day. After my show year ended, I ordered Lost Silver on Amazon. However, it would take a week for it to arrive. I decided that during that time I would replay my crystal version on my Game Boy Color. However, I realized that long ago my mom threw it away because I told her to save went dead, and I was very upset about it then. She also threw away my silver version, so all I have is my Game Boy Color. As such, I set out to GameStop and bought a used silver version, as it's only the Pokemon game left that they have for the GBC. $10, fairly cheap. I went home and started it up for a nostalgia trip. However, that's where things started getting bizarre, and more likely the reason why you read this. The Game Freak logo started up as normal, but it just froze there. I thought the cart was just errored or something, so I turned it off and on. The same thing happened. I tried pressing A and start over and over, and all of the buttons, eventually the logo vanished and there was a black screen. And there was a black screen for about 5 seconds. Suddenly, rather than going to the usual menu screen, I was already in the game in a previous save file, which was odd, as I was expecting all these carts to have been wiped by the poor battery. Either way, I was complaining, as I would have chosen the continue option to see what the previous guy did anyways. First off, I checked his trainer information. His name was just ... He didn't have much originality. I checked his profile and apparently he had 99999 hours put into the game, with all 16 badges 99999.9 Poké dollars and all 251 Pokemon on the Pokédex. Seeing as he apparently had Mew and Celebi logged also, I am guessing he either used a game genie or was a really hardcore Pokemon player back then. I checked his Pokemon to see what a badass team he had. To my surprise, I saw 5 unknowns and a 6th Pokemon named Hurry. I'm thinking that this must have been a cruel joke by the person who last played this game, but I decided to check the profiles of those Pokemon anyway. As if they were different letters of unknown. All level 5 was a bit shaky with my unknown alphabet at the time, but I identified the word filled out to be Leeb. As the 6th Pokemon, as it turned out to be a Cyndaquil. Mind you, this is before there was in the Pokemon icons. The Cyndaquil looked normal, but it was level 5 with only 1 HP less, with only 2 attacks. Leer and Flash I don't know why they named him Hurry, but at the time I just disregarded it. The most eerie thing was that despite my brilliant maths, none of the Pokemon he had said their usual cries, just pure silence. Having enough of the team close, I closed it. It was parked at the time what appears to be a room inside Bellsport Tower. However, for some reason, there were no NPCs around. Even more eerie was that the pillar in the middle didn't move at all, as if just leaning on its side. There was no music at all, and there was no exit or ladder, or at least I thought there wasn't. I looked around for a few minutes, but couldn't seem to find a way out. This was certainly not a room I've seen in Bellsport Tower before. I tried checking my items for a safe route, but the bag was completely empty. There wasn't any wild Pokemon either. Finally, I managed to find a ladder, which turned out to be behind the pillar. The screen turned black and the music finally started playing. I had a sudden chill as I recognized the melody I heard to be the theme you hear when you listened to the radio at the Alf Ruins, where the unknowns are at. I immediately realized that it wasn't a loading transition, but rather I was in a dark room and would need flash before I took care of that though. I immediately checked my Pokegear to sync the radio to something more pleasant, but it turns out that there was no radio card, or even a phone, nor time cards. There was only a map card in which gold from earlier, and I will call him Gold from now on, was just walking in a mist of black. I recall that Cyndaquil has flash, so I turned off my Pokegear and made Cyndaquil use flash. I didn't see any messages saying Hurry. He used flash. Hurry used flash, or anything like that. The room just became lit, just like that, and I soon regretted that. The room was a selling blood red with a linear grey path heading south. The ladder I used to go up flash down was not there at all. I had no choice but to head south. The scene got darker every 20 steps I made, until I finally made it to the end, which appears to be a sign. I read the sign, which read, "Turn back now." Suddenly I was asked to answer yes, flash, no. But there was no question asked. I chose yes, and I do not know what it was asking, and the screen went black again, making a ladder climbed sound. The unknown radio music stopped, and in a few seconds was replaced with the not as creepy Pokeflute radio music. I was in an all dark room, but I held my breath and used flash again. Suddenly it said that Hurry has fainted, which was odd since I recall that there was no status conditions like poison on him, and I clearly wasn't in battle. I set my Pokemon quickly, and suddenly he's no longer in my party. In fact, after a bit of investigating, none of my Pokemon are there, but instead of replaced with level 10 unknown. I did the same thing as before and filled out the unknown. My then team of unknown felt heated. Either way, after that creepy scene, the room was lit to reveal myself in a very small room that appears to be only 4 squares big. The walls of that room were grey bricks, as if I was inside something that was hollowed inside. Outside that room appears to be a bunch of graves, similar to ones in Pokemon Red / Blue. I walked around the small room and pressed A, but nothing happened. I've already concluded that this was clearly a hacked game and some sadistic fucks sold it to GameStop. However, my curiosity kept me going. I checked the trainer profile, ... again, only to find out that the Fright of Gold was missing his arms. He also seems to appear less smug, rather seems more sad and empty, in a way that I do not know how to describe. For some reason, it also now said that he has 24 badges, which was clearly impossible. After a few minutes of aimless wandering, my character suddenly fun and did the April finning animation. Instead of flying up though, my character fun downwards slowly as if sinking. After that freeing, the music stopped. After finally landing, the overall Fright of Gold is coloured differently now. Instead of the usual red colour he dons, he appears completely white now, including his skin. It's as if he came free from the colourless Game Boy games placed into a colour background of the Game Boy Color. I checked his profile, and now is as white as his overworld Fright. He lost his legs and was apparently to be bloody tears from his eyes. It also says he now has 32 badges, which now starts to disturb me, as the change of numbers seems to represent something important. I also checked my Pokemon, which this time contains 5 unknown and a level 100 Celebi. Without a nickname, the unknown are this time level 15 and felt out dying. I checked the Celebi profile. It was a shiny Celebi, except there's only half of the Fright. 1 leg, 1 arm, 1 eye. It only has 1 attack. Paris song. The area I was in itself was the Fright Tower, with the immobile pillar as before, except everything is apparently red now. I walked north for what felt like forever. Eventually I finally encountered some generic men and women NPC. They were all lined up to the side, just facing the long sandaled pillar in the middle. They were also white, and nothing happens when I try to speak to them. I kept on going north until eventually the pillar finally appeared chopped off, with a transparent red in the thought. I went up into red, and without even pressing A, I was suddenly engaged and finally in a fight, in a battle. The music starts again, which it sounds like the unknown radio music again, but played backwards. Gold's battle back Fright matches his front one, with the bloody eyes, white skin and lack of arms, while Red's Fright was the same as before in GCS, except transparent. The text simply said, "Wants to battle," as if he has no name, and both of us only have 1 Pokemon each, which is weird. I swore I had 6 with the unknowns. My shiny Celebi came out conveniently with half a Fright. For the back Fright also, the shiny nose and animation was different, as the sounds it made sounds like multiple feet attacks used consecutively. Red sent out a seemingly normal Pikachu, except he is level 255, and his Fright seems sad and has tears in his eyes. Rather than the usual fight flash, item flash, pick flash run menu, I was only given the option to use the attacks. Since Celebi only has 1, I choose it naturally. Since Pikachu was level 255, he went first. Pikachu used Curse, lowering his speed and increasing his other stats. I'm not even sure if Pikachu could use Curse. Celebi used Paris Song, and 3 times both Pokemon got KO'd. Not like I had a choice. At this point, I didn't even go back to the fight menu as the battle would just continue without me. Also note that there were no animations at all for some reason. Pikachu used Flail, which didn't do much damage despite his level and boost as his health was maxed. Shelby used Power Strong. Nothing happened as it was already used. Pikachu used Fluctuation, which did a shit ton of damage, knocking Shelby down to less than 10 HP. Shelby used Pain Slit, which surprised me as Shelby didn't even have that attack in the first place. Now Shelby and Pikachu have about 150 HP. Pikachu used Mean Look, not like that did anything. As unexpected due to the effects of Parasol, my Shelby fainted, except in this text it says Shelby has died instead of the ordinary drop of the faint animation. The Shelby back fright just vanished for some reason. The Pikachu was still up, even with Parasol, it didn't count as my loss. Pikachu used one more different attack beyond the 5 attack limit. Pikachu used Destiny Bond. Afterwards it said Pikachu has died with a slowly fade out animation. Apparently I was the winner, as the transparent red fright showed up and said ... At that point I just freaked out as the transparent red fright was suddenly beheaded, leaving nothing but his transparent body. The battle then ended at that point and faded out along with the sight. Along with the music, leaving nothing. I'm back in the overworld with another short change to the ghost right. He's now as transparent as Red's overworld right. I quickly checked Coach's profile, where this time the only thing remains of him is his head with a transparent fin. The head was zoomed in a bit, showing a black void in his eye. It now stated that he now has 40 badges. I then backed out and checked my Pokemon. They were all level 20, shiny unknown, which when filled out read no more. I was at what I now know. This is the end to the end. This next to the end. There was apparently no music playing, but for some reason I still felt like something was there that could have been heard. I was back in my room in New Barktown. Maybe finally I get to play this game properly, but who am I kidding? I knew that sadistic fuck must have done something. I walked around my room to interact with things as I'm a bit afraid to go down the stairs to see what was awaiting down there. Note, I said walked, as while the background was moving, Gold was not moving. His transparent limbs all were while doing so just floating like those ghosts you see in Diamond Flash Pearl. As expected, the radio, computer and TV did not work, so I had no choice but to go down the stairs. I'd ended up in the same lower level room of my house. Eventually, everything appears normal, except Mom isn't home. After failing to interact with anything in the room, I decided to go outside. To my surprise, that door leading outside at the south didn't work, and instead I just walked straight through it to avoid. I continued moving south to see what the fuck was going on. My house bounces as I head south into the void. It was creepy as when I entered the void, the outline on Ghost transparent fright turned white to contrast with the pitch black eventually. I reached a white area and Ghostfright turned black and transparent again. I continued south without thinking of stopping at all. After a long trek south, I finally encountered something. It was Gold regular fright. I talked to it. He said goodbye forever, notably with face in between the forever and ... and banished as that happened. It said mystery mark. Used nightmare. Was at this point it would not deny that being possible. Gold did another April animations finished slowly downwards like before. I'm not back into the small hollowed out room surrounded by graves earlier, or at least I say I was back there. As there's no fright anymore, I tried to walk around but nothing moved, not while even low bumping noise. I checked my trainer profile was with absolutely no Ghostfright left. It said I had 0 badges and all the pictures of the Johto gym leaders at the bottom were replaced with souls. I checked my Pokemon were all level 25 unknown. As expected, it filled out a phrase that I dared to read. I'm dead. As soon as I went back to the overworld, the room I supposedly was in was then covered with the same blocks as the wall. I then figured out what exactly the room was when the final text was said, RIP ... That room was a big grave surrounded by other graves. Gold has already been dead. He died prematurely a few years after he defeated Red. He was a young trainer who, despite his efforts in collecting so many badges and attempts at becoming a Pokemon Master, was still unable to avoid the inevitable fate of death, and his efforts were eventually forgotten by the next generation. I was unable to escape from the text no matter what I pressed. I tried resetting the gym and the same thing happened, at which I then finally decided to give up on that horrible nightmare. After the experience, I will never look at the gimmick unknown the way again. They say that only that first generation have folk tales and legends, but the second generation have shown me how unpleasant the truth can be. I eventually enjoyed Soul Silver immensely, but I still can't unthink what that rigged game has taught me. And the game. In early September 2010, a complete working fan game of Lost Silver was made. The game is its own acceptable rather than a ROM hack. Therefore, it does not require a emulator nor a Pokemon Silver ROM. There has been talk about expanding the story. Well, anyway, guys, that's basically it. That's just extra bit. So that was Pokemon Lost Silver. I hope you can give me some feedback in the comments, guys. Anyway, hope you had fun. That's been the Karma God here.
See you later.
And